Joining me right now to react is Louisiana Congressman. He is House Minority Whip. Congressman Steve Scalise is a member of the Energy and Commerce Committee. Congressman, you will be questioning these executives today at the hearing. What can we expect? Where do you want to focus?
Well, good morning, Maria. Good to be with you. And it seems like Democrats have amnesia, as the Wall Street Journal pointed out today in their opinion piece, because it's Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and her counterparts who have limited the supply by shutting down oil production, not allowing any new leases. And frankly, the leases they keep talking about that oil companies have, they've put every roadblock from every federal agency in the way so that they can't produce on those leases. Look, you've got every federal agency, from the Department of Interior to Energy, now the SEC. Every agency is putting out rules to make it harder to drill. And let's not forget, Maria, Joe Biden, when he was a candidate for president of the United States, said he's going to shut down production, make it harder for companies to drill in America. Just a few months ago, these same Democrats here in Congress were berating those oil executives, telling them to stop producing oil in America. And because of these regulations, they can't produce as much oil in America, and it's made us more reliant on thugs like Putin and other dictators who are limiting supply so they can raise the price. Let's open up American energy, get all these federal agency roadblocks out of the way so we can produce oil in America and lower the cost at the pump.
Well, don't forget about Iran. The president is right now wanting to get the U.S. back into this JCPOA nuclear deal with the Iranians so that Iranian oil can be on the market. But look, Congressman, we all know that the price of oil and gasoline is achieved in the global market, and it's all based on supply and demand for the global market. But if the president can't blame the oil companies, who's he going to blame?
Oh, look, everybody knows it's Joe Biden who's caused these high gas prices. Look, Joe Biden right now in this Iran deal you talked about is also negotiating with Putin. Why would anybody in America be negotiating with Vladimir Putin? Yet that's what Joe Biden is doing to try to help Iran get a nuclear weapon. Why not make energy here? Because by limiting supply in America, which Joe Biden bragged about as a candidate, and Nancy Pelosi and her liberal lieutenants are bragging about, by limiting that supply, they allow cartels, monopolies like OPEC, like these dictators, from Russia, Venezuela, Iran. They don't want to increase supply because they want the price to be high. And the price is high because they won't allow America to produce. We're a free market economy here. We believe in increasing supply if demand's high and the price is high so we can lower the price. But Joe Biden won't let that happen through all of his regulations. Let's get the regulations out of the way to actually allow America to produce cleaner, by the way, than all those other countries. We have better standards. We will have reduced carbon emissions if we make more in America.
Well, look, let's face it. We are looking at inflation that is stinging. The last reading was 7.9% average inflation right now. And we just spoke with the former president of the Kansas City Federal Reserve, Thomas Honig, and he said that inflation is going to run up to 8.5% in the coming months. And we're all feeling it in all ways. The cost of traveling, taking a flight is up big time as fuel prices grip consumers. The average price for a flight right now up 40% from January to travel, with costs expected to go up 10% in the next month. So this is driving up the cost of a domestic flight by about $100 since the beginning of the year, Congressman. That's just one area of inflation. We've also got food prices higher, gasoline prices higher, even services higher. So it's really coming at us in all ways as a result of the price of gasoline and fuel.
Yeah, Maria, and you know who pays the most from Joe Biden's inflation? It's lower and middle income families. They are getting crushed by these higher prices. You go to the grocery store and everything's 20 to 30% higher. Fertilizer's 300% higher or more when you talk to farmers. That's ultimately going to lead to even higher prices. And then Joe Biden, by the way, proposed $45 billion in new taxes on oil and gas. So if you're angry about the price you're paying already, which is too high at the pump, Joe Biden wants you to pay more. And he broke his promise to you because he said if you make less than $400,000, you won't pay anything in new taxes. You're already paying probably $3 or $4 a gallon more every time you fill up because of Joe Biden's failed policies. Those are tax increases on lower and middle income families, the very people he promised he wouldn't go after.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the budget and what he's doing at the budget, because I've got this report from Larry Lindsay that I'm looking at, and there are all these rosy projections in the budget as well. For example, the budget is expecting that the 91-day Treasury bill rate is going to be up 0.2% for 2022. We're already looking at yields skyrocket right now, so that's way off. They're looking at growth of 4% for the economy. That's way off. We've already got expectations of a recession, if not a 1% growth number for the economy for 2022. So we're talking about massive, pie in the sky expectations with this budget. And why is there no increase in spending for Homeland Security and a decrease in spending in defense, Congressman? Walk us through what's going on with this budget, because the U.S. southern border is about to get much worse. Democrats are even acknowledging that the administration has no plan to deal with a surge of migrants expected once Title 42 goes away. Senate Republicans want to reinstate Title 42 in the new COVID relief package. What are your thoughts on what's going on at the border, and compare that to the money that Joe Biden is proposing for example, the IRS spending up 20%, Homeland Security and defense down when compared to inflation?
Yeah, Maria, these are devastating numbers. You look at Joe Biden's budget, it shows you where his priorities are. He wants to double the size of the IRS and yet reduce spending on things like protecting our country and our homeland. I mean, look, again, this is the same party that supported defunding the police. They're still pushing those kind of defunding policies. They're trying to defund the Border Patrol agents and ICE. And by getting rid of Title 42, what that really is, that's a tool that our Homeland Security forces, the Border Patrol agents on the ground, use to try to secure America's border. And what they're estimating by what Biden is doing just in these last 2 weeks will actually lead to probably 500,000 or more people coming across our border illegally every single month, Maria. Over 500,000. Today, we might be at 30,000 a month, which is way too high. Way too high. They want to go to over 500,000 people crossing illegally every month. Think of all the fentanyl, the drugs that are already coming into our country. We had 100,000 Americans killed last year from fentanyl coming across our southern border. Joe Biden's done nothing. In fact, he's making that worse, because by opening up the border, he is turning operational control of our southern border over to drug cartels who will bring more fentanyl, more human trafficking across the border. It is a national crisis. It's a national disgrace that Joe Biden created. He could reverse this today. We on the floor today, by the way, are going to be bringing up Congresswoman Yvette Harrell's bill that actually reinstates Title 42. We're going to bring and force a vote on that today. Let's see where that goes.
Yeah, I think it's a really important vote and an important subject. You talk about the fentanyl. Joe Biden hasn't discussed fentanyl at all. Why not just tell Xi Jinping to stop producing fentanyl in China and sending it into America the way President Trump did during his time? This illicit narcotic is made in China, and it's trafficked through Mexico into the United States. Congressman, also, you just mentioned 500,000 potentially coming in. We've already seen 2 million people come into this country on Joe Biden's watch. What is another 500,000 going to mean? Who are they? Because I'm hearing that there are a handful of people being apprehended who were on the terror watch list.
Yeah, Maria, and when I said 500,000, that's 500,000 every month. You're talking about 6 million more just in the next year if Joe Biden gets his way. As you said, we've already identified, from what they've told us, at least 4 people that are on the terrorist watch list that they apprehended. They won't give us real numbers. They won't tell us how many people have come across or where they've gone. Which states have they gone into? You know, look, you've got governors going.
Unbelievable. They're
trying to find this out. They don't know. When we're in the majority, by the way, Maria, we're going to get these answers. We'll find this out. But in the meantime, what he's doing is causing much more than a catastrophe at the border. This is a national crisis. Every city is a border town now because they're sending them all throughout the country, and nobody, no governor, no mayor, knows how many are going to show up tomorrow at the bus station.
Well, we didn't hear that subject come up yesterday when President Obama visited President Biden to celebrate the Affordable Care Act, no less. Congressman, real quick on the way out, your thoughts when you saw Obama at the White House again yesterday.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? When Joe Biden's poll numbers go down, he tries to blame everybody else for the crises he creates. And then when that doesn't work, he tries to bring back Obama and hope that, that Obama can help increase his poll numbers. Everybody knows what a debacle this Biden administration has been to working class families. Like, it's everybody's paying higher costs for everything. It hits lower income families the hardest. Joe Biden is making it worse instead of fixing these problems with us. We've got solutions. We're going to keep pushing for them. It's a shame the president's the main opposition.
Congressman, we'll be watching all of that. Thanks very much for being here this morning. Congressman Steve Scalise joining us this morning. We will